you ever wondered what it would be like to literally cycle through history? Well, today we get to tag along with a family on an incredible 8-day adventure along the Danube River. We're going to follow their path from Passau all the way to Vienna and see what makes this route so legendary. There's something really special about seeing the world from a bicycle. You're not just watching a landscape flash by a car window. You are in it. You can feel the sun, you hear the birds, and you're moving at a pace that lets you actually connect with everything around you. It's just a totally immersive way to travel. And when you share an experience like that with your family, in this case, a mom, a dad, and their 2 kids, it really does become something more. It's not just a vacation anymore. It turns into this shared story, a memory that you all build together, piece by piece. So where does a story like this even begin? Well, this whole adventure kicks off in the gorgeous German city of Passau. It's the classic starting point for this 8-day, 7-night tour. So here's a look at the route. It basically follows the Danube downstream almost the entire time on these beautiful, flat, dedicated bike paths. It starts with all the historic charm of Passau and wraps up in the absolute grandeur of Vienna. It's the perfect mix of stunning scenery and centuries of history. So, day 1. The adventure gets going in Passau, this really cool city where 3 rivers actually meet. After the family gets settled, it's time to pick up the bikes.
Bisikletlerimizi aldık.
You can just imagine the excitement, right? Especially for the kids. I mean, this is that moment when it gets real. These aren't just bikes anymore. They're your ticket to a week of total freedom and exploration. Okay, so once they pedal out of the city, the whole vibe changes. This next part of the ride takes them into a much wilder, way more dramatic section of the Upper Danube.
Merhaba Ela. Kuzey merhaba.
Anne, merhaba de Karamaya'ya. Merhaba.
As they make their way into Austria, one of the first big cultural stops they hit is Melk Abbey. And get this, it's the only Trappist monastery in the entire country. Just thinking about the generations of monks who've lived and worked here, it adds such a cool layer of history to the amazing scenery. Now, you might hear bike tour and think it's going to be this super intense thing, but check this out. A typical day is only about 40 kilometers, which is roughly 25 miles. And that's so important because it means the pace is nice and relaxed. There's plenty of time for ice cream stops, exploring a castle you spot on a hill, or just, soaking it all in.
Hallo.
Hallo, wie geht's? Hallo, wie geht's? Ciao, ciao. Selam.
And after a day of pedaling, look at the payoff. This is the Schlögener Schlinge, or the Schlogen Loop. It's just this incredible natural wonder where the Danube River literally makes a full 180-degree turn. Can you imagine rolling up to this view? It's just a moment of pure awe and for sure a major highlight of the whole trip. So after all that raw, natural beauty of the Schlogen Loop, the path takes a turn into a totally different world, the city of Linz. It's such a cool contrast. You've got this charming old town right next to some really bold, modern buildings, all sitting right there on the river. Now the path leads them into the Strudengau region, and it's a much calmer stretch. Think tranquil meadows and quiet little villages where life just seems to move a little slower.
Merhaba deyin kameraya.
Day wraps up in this picture-perfect little town called Grein, tucked right beside the river with a beautiful historic center. This is what makes a trip like this so special. It's not just about the big, famous spots. It's about discovering these smaller, quieter gems along the way. Okay, from here on out, things get even more epic. The journey is now heading into its most celebrated, most famous stretch, the world-renowned Wachau Valley.
Gündüz ben hiç çıkmadım kameraya, değil mi?
Şimdi çıkarsın.
İlk defa.
İlk çıktığım anda.
And the grand entrance to the Wachau is nothing short of spectacular. I mean, just look at it. Rising up over the Danube is the magnificent Melk Abbey. This place is a Baroque masterpiece, and it perfectly sets the tone for the incredible scenery that's about to unfold. And what comes next? Well, it's a UNESCO World Heritage landscape, and you can totally see why.
Nej, ik wou met die iets daar zo op. Nee, ik hoop ze ook geen. Ja. Ik hoop ze ook geen. Hoe kun je dat lasten? Ja, maar ik heb het
Biking through here must feel like you're moving through a living painting. You've got these terraced vineyards climbing up the hills, ancient castles looking down over the river, and postcard-perfect villages around every single bend. So this leg of the trip is really a treat for all the senses. The path weaves right through these famous wine villages. It's not just about the sights, it's a culinary journey too. The day ends with amazing local food and wine in a cozy tavern. It doesn't get much better than that. So, after all these amazing days out in nature and exploring these cute little villages, the trip starts building towards its grand finale, arriving in Austria's magnificent capital city. You know, the way they handle the last day is actually really smart. The family does a final 50-kilometer ride, and wow, what an ending. Talk about a change of scenery. From those quiet river valleys, the family suddenly finds themselves right in the middle of all the grandeur of Vienna. The huge boulevards, St. Stephen's Cathedral, Schönbrunn Palace. It's just a powerful and perfect way to end such an incredible journey. You know, when you look back on a trip like this, it's not just about the cool places you saw. It's about the connection you made with nature, with history, and most of all, with each other. So it kind of leaves you with one big question. What kind of memories are you going to create on your next journey?